Coordinated ventilation is a critical fireground tactic that directly influences fire behavior, firefighter safety, and incident outcomes. Ventilation actions, when performed without coordination, can rapidly intensify fire conditions and increase risk to interior crews. Research conducted by Underwriters Laboratories Firefighter Safety Research Institute, ULFSRI, has demonstrated that ventilation must be synchronized with water application to control fire dynamics effectively. Fire officers are responsible for ensuring ventilation supports suppression objectives rather than undermining them. National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, standards emphasize risk management, coordinated operations, and command accountability. Coordinated ventilation refers to the deliberate timing and placement of ventilation openings in conjunction with fire attack operations. Its purpose is to release heat, smoke, and fire gases in a controlled manner while limiting oxygen introduction that could intensify the fire. ULFSRI research shows that uncoordinated ventilation often increases heat release rates in ventilation-limited fires. Fire officers must ensure that ventilation occurs only when hose lines are in place and ready to apply water. Proper coordination improves interior conditions and enhances firefighter safety. ULFSRI research has fundamentally reshaped fire service understanding of ventilation. Studies demonstrate that modern fires are frequently ventilation limited and highly sensitive to airflow changes. Introducing air through doors, windows, or roof openings without suppression can cause rapid fire growth. ULFSRI findings emphasize that water application should precede or coincide with ventilation. Fire officers must incorporate this evidence into tactical planning and training. Ventilation directly affects fire behavior by altering oxygen, availability, and flow paths. Coordinated ventilation allows heat and smoke to be released while minimizing fire intensification. Fire officers must recognize that visible fire conditions can change rapidly once ventilation occurs. ULFSRI research confirms that coordinated ventilation can reduce interior temperatures and improve tenability. Poor coordination can create dangerous flow paths and rapid fire spread. NFPA standards provide a framework that supports coordinated ventilation practices. NFPA 1500 emphasizes minimizing firefighter exposure to hazards and managing operational risk. NFPA 1561 highlights the importance of coordinated tactical operations under an incident command system. Coordinated ventilation aligns with these principles by ensuring ventilation actions support overall incident objectives. Fire officers who emphasize coordinated ventilation demonstrate compliance with NFPA safety expectations. The effectiveness of ventilation depends on its coordination with water application. ULFSRI research supports applying water to cool the fire environment before or simultaneously with ventilation. This approach limits fire growth while improving interior conditions. Fire officers must ensure hose lines are charged, positioned, and ready before ventilation openings are created. Clear communication between engine and truck companies is essential. Coordinated ventilation significantly enhances firefighter safety and civilian survivability. Controlled ventilation reduces extreme heat and limits the movement of toxic gases. ULFSRI studies show that proper coordination improves tenability for trapped occupants and interior crews. Fire officers must prioritize safety by controlling ventilation, timing, and location. NFPA risk management principles support conservative ventilation strategies when no savable life is present. Fire officers play a central role in directing and approving ventilation actions. They must assess fire conditions, building construction, staffing levels, and water supply before authorizing ventilation. NFPA standards emphasize the officer's responsibility for scene, safety, and accountability. Fire officers must monitor the effects of ventilation and adjust tactics as conditions change. Effective leadership ensures ventilation supports suppression objectives. As a review, ventilation is a task, and it must have the following three things to be effective: also known as the 3 Cs: correct, coordinated, and communicated. It must be the correct ventilation. Examples are horizontal, vertical, hydraulic, positive pressure, or natural. It must be coordinated. The vent crew must coordinate, also known as the timing and location of their ventilation tactic, with the fire attack crew to vent the area prior to or at the same time as the fire attack crew begins to flow water. If it is too early, rapid fire growth will occur. If it is too late, the attack crew will not receive the maximum benefits, and the products of combustion, smoke, hot gases, and toxic chemicals will flow through the building seeking the path of least resistance and potentially impacting victim rescue and survivability. The closer the ventilation opening is to the seat of the fire, the faster the fire will react. Venting the fire room will increase burning faster, but will let the hot gases out more quickly after water is applied. The larger the ventilation opening, the faster the fire reacts. A bigger ventilation hole in the roof means that more air will be entrained into the fire. If the fire is fuel limited, this is good, but if the fire is vent limited, this could be bad. The last is communication. This is communication between the vent crew and the fire attack crew to communicate their progress and changes. Was the ventilation effective as fire attack can provide interior changes in progress, while the vent crew can provide updates on the exterior? Training is essential to ensure coordinated ventilation is applied consistently. Fire officers must ensure firefighters understand UL, FSRI research, and NFPA guidance related to ventilation. NFPA 1410 supports realistic training scenarios that reinforce coordination between engine and truck operations. Fire officers must model best practices and correct unsafe ventilation behaviors immediately. After-action reviews help reinforce lessons learned. Understanding coordinated ventilation is essential for modern fireground operations. UL FSRI research has demonstrated that ventilation, when uncoordinated, can significantly increase fire severity and firefighter risk. NFPA standards reinforce the fire officer's responsibility to manage ventilation as part of a coordinated tactical plan. Fire officers must ensure ventilation actions support suppression efforts and risk management objectives. Mastery of coordinated ventilation strengthens command effectiveness and operational success. Thank you for watching, and look for more training tip videos coming your way.